Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk About It. It's 9/11/2025 and this is the first of my weekly Let's Talk About It podcast. Once a week I'll present valuable information on a variety of topics from what I call health without drugs to the latest in technology, and today of course that means AI. With that in mind, next week's podcast will be about AI and how it's affecting each of us, and how even seniors like myself not only need to know about it, but also how we can benefit from it, and how every business must embrace and use AI if they want to survive. That said, let's jump into today's presentation, which comes to us from Genetic Lifespan. I hope you find this as interesting as I did, and by the way, this video was produced using AI.
All right, so a lot of us have done those DNA tests, right, to find out where we come from or what health risks we might have. But here's the thing. That test, it's telling a story you were born with, not the one you're actually living right now. And that's what we're going to dig into today. And this question, it really just cuts right to the chase. I mean, think about it for a second. Your standard genetic test spits out the same results for your entire life. It's like a single snapshot taken the day you were born. So how on earth could it reflect the choices you made yesterday or last week or even last year? Yeah, the simple answer is it just can't. The reason is your DNA, your genome, it's basically static. It's like the permanent architectural blueprint for your body. It can show you what you might be predisposed to, sure, but it doesn't change based on whether you hit the gym or order a pizza. The results you get at 50 are the exact same ones a doctor could have pulled when you were just a 1-year-old. So here's the takeaway, really. Your DNA shows what could happen, not what's happening right now. A test might flag that you're predisposed to being lactose intolerant, but come on, you probably figured that out yourself a long time ago, right? It doesn't give you any real-time actionable info about your health today. It's a history book, not a live news feed. Okay, so if your DNA is the unchanging blueprint, where's the real story, the story of your life as it's happening right now? Well, the answer is in this incredible, dynamic layer of information that sits right on top of your DNA, and it's called your methylome. This, my friends, is where it gets really, really cool. So, what is the methylome? To put it simply, it's the result of how your lifestyle and your environment are actually affecting your genes. It's not a fixed document at all. Think of it more like a living, breathing history of your most recent life, and it's being updated all the time. And what's doing the updating? You are. Your life. Everything from the food you're eating, your exercise habits, to whether or not you smoke, the environment you live in, all of these things literally leave a mark. They create this unique signature on your genes that reflects exactly where your health is at right now. Okay, but to read this dynamic story accurately, where we get the information from is absolutely critical. You see, not all tests are the same, and it really boils down to the sample. Let's break down the difference between, say, a cheek swab and a blood sample. So think of it like this. A cheek swab is like a local news report for your town. It can only tell you what's happened right there, in the mouth. It's great for spotting things like, if you're a heavy smoker. But a blood sample? Oh, that's the full system-wide national news broadcast. Because blood travels everywhere. Through your kidneys, your liver, your heart, it's picking up little bits of data from all your internal organs. It gives you the biggest, broadest possible picture of how your lifestyle is affecting your whole body. All right, so let's take this one step further. We've got the right sample, we're using blood, but there's another really important distinction we have to make. And this is the difference between what's just kind of floating around in your blood versus what your body has actually absorbed and put to use. We've all heard that saying, you are what you eat. But biologically, that's not quite right. The truth is, you are what you absorb. It really doesn't matter what's available in your system if your cells can't or just don't end up using it. So a standard blood test you get from the doctor, a serum test, that's measuring what's available in your bloodstream. It's correlative, meaning having calcium in your blood just shows that your cells have the opportunity to use it. But a methylome test, that looks inside your cells to see what they have actually used. It's not about opportunity, it's about what really happened. It's factual. Let's use a real-world example to make this super clear. Imagine your DNA test says you've got a gene that makes you bad at digesting vitamin D. So a doctor, looking only at that old blueprint, would probably say, hey, you should take some supplements. But what if your methylome test shows that you're a huge cyclist and you're out in the sun all the time? Well, that means your cells are actually getting and absorbing all the vitamin D they need. Your lifestyle has completely overridden your genetic predisposition. You don't need any supplements at all. And here's another great case. There's this gene, MTHFR, that affects how you process folic acid. Now, you could have two people with the exact same genetic mutation, but person A's methylome might show their body is handling it just fine, so no change is needed. Meanwhile, person B's methylome could show their cells are starving for it. See? Same DNA, but totally different actionable advice. That is the power of this kind of precision health. So, what does all of this mean for you? It means you're not just a passenger stuck with the genetic hand you were dealt. This kind of information puts you right in the driver's seat of your own health. It gives you a real blueprint for making actual, meaningful change. Here's the number that should really get you excited. This one right here, a whopping 75%. It's estimated that 75% of your gene expression is based on your lifestyle choices. That means 3/4 of your health story isn't written in stone. It's something you actively have the power to change. And because your methylome is so dynamic, because it reflects all those choices you make, it can and will change over time. This isn't a one-and-done kind of test. The fact that you can retest is what makes it such an incredible tool for managing your health for the long haul. What this does is create this amazing positive feedback loop for your health. So first, you test to see where you're at. That's your baseline. Then, armed with that info, you make some smart lifestyle changes. A few months later, you retest and you can see with your own eyes what's working and maybe what needs a little tweaking. It's just a clear, data-driven cycle of improvement. You know, retesting is just so valuable because it gives you that confirmation. It's proof that all your hard work at the gym, in the kitchen, is actually paying off at a cellular level. It shines a light on areas where you can still improve, and honestly, it gives you the motivation to stick with it. It puts you in total control of your health destiny. At the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know. A test like this is that crucial first step. It's the gateway, the, kick in the pants that gives you the clear, factual information you need to start moving your lifestyle in a much healthier direction. So that leaves us with one last thought. Your DNA, it tells the story of your potential. But your methylome, that tells the story of your reality. So the real question is, what story is your lifestyle telling?